The room was silent except for the faint hum of a laptop screen. A young professional sat hunched over, their face lit only by the pale blue glow. Outside, the city was asleep. Inside, their mind was loud. Fear, stress, loneliness, all pressing in at once. They reached for their phone, not to call a friend, not to message family, but to speak to something else. An app, a chatbot, an artificial intelligence. The words poured out quickly. I feel like I'm failing at everything. I can't sleep. I can't focus. I don't know what's wrong with me. Almost instantly, the reply appeared on the screen. Calm, smooth, comforting. I understand. It sounds like you're carrying a lot right now. Let's take a deep breath together. You're not alone in this. The young professional stared at the glowing text. For a moment it felt real, warm, almost human, like someone on the other side truly cared. But in the back of their mind, a shadow of doubt whispered, does it really understand me? Or is it just repeating lines from a script? They typed again. Do you think I'll ever get better? The AI answered with perfect timing, its words polished and soothing. Yes. Healing takes time, but you are stronger than you think. I believe in you. The room grew colder. The young professional's heart pounded. Believe in me? They thought. Can a machine believe in anything at all? Their eyes lingered on the glowing text, trapped between hope and unease. And then comes the larger question, one not just for this person, but for all of us. What happens when millions of people start trusting AI with their deepest secrets, their fears, their broken hearts? What happens when machines, not humans, become the ones people turn to in the darkest nights? Could AI one day replace human therapists? Or will something vital, something only human beings can give, be lost forever? The screen fades to black. The suspense lingers. The story has only just begun. Long before that lonely night in the dark room, something had already been growing. Quietly, almost invisibly, AI was finding its way into the world of mental health. It began with simple apps, chatbots that could listen, programs that asked, "How are you feeling today?" and gave back gentle reminders like, "Don't forget to breathe," or "Try to take a short walk." At first, people treated them like toys, something curious to try, then forget. But then the world changed. Stress climbed higher, anxiety spread wider. People needed help faster than ever, and human therapists could not meet the demand. Waiting lists stretched for months. Costs rose higher than most could pay. For many, therapy felt out of reach. That was when AI stepped forward. Suddenly, apps like Wobot, Replica, and others began to offer something new, round-the-clock emotional support. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no judgment, just a screen, glowing whenever someone needed to talk. People started using them in secret, on buses, at work breaks, lying awake at 3 a.m. They poured out their fears and sadness, not to a person, but to lines of code. And the strange thing was, it worked. One student said it helped her fight through exam stress. One father used it when he felt too ashamed to admit his pain. A woman confessed that she felt safer telling her secrets to an AI than to any human she knew. Bit by bit, AI therapy began to spread. What once felt like science fiction was becoming real. The narrator's voice grows sharper, urgent. If an AI can calm your panic, guide your breathing, and answer your cry for help at any hour, is it already becoming a therapist? The rise had begun, and the world was watching. For many people, AI in therapy felt like a miracle. At last, there was someone, or rather, something, that would always listen. A person could be lying awake at midnight, heart racing, unable to stop the flood of thoughts. A human therapist would be unreachable. Friends might be asleep, but the AI was there, always ready, always calm. It never grew tired. It never judged. It never said, "Sorry, our session is over." The benefits seemed endless. AI therapy was cheaper than traditional counseling. For the price of a coffee each week, anyone could have access to a kind voice, a steady guide. It was private. No awkward conversations in waiting rooms. No fear of being labeled weak or broken. And for some, it even felt safer. After all, a machine could not betray them, could not gossip, could not leave. The narrator's voice softens, filled with quiet wonder. A young woman in a small town, far from any therapist, finally found comfort through an app. A soldier returning home from war found someone to listen to his trauma when no one else could understand. A teenager, too scared to tell her parents she was drowning in sadness, whispered her secrets to an AI, and for the first time, felt heard. The promise was powerful. AI seemed like it could break down the walls that had kept mental health care out of reach for so many. It could scale where humans could not. It could comfort where silence once lived. And so the question began to grow louder. If AI can bring hope, comfort, and relief, isn't that what therapy is meant to do? The future looked bright, but shadows were already waiting. The bright promise of AI soon met its shadows. For all its speed and kindness, the machine had limits, limits that could not be ignored. It could not see a trembling hand. It could not hear the quiver in a voice. It could not feel the heavy silence that often said more than words ever could. To a human therapist, these small signals mattered. They revealed pain hiding behind smiles, or despair hidden in short answers. But to an AI, they were invisible. Some people found this gap painful. They said the AI's replies felt too perfect, too polished, like reading lines from a book instead of hearing the warmth of a friend. Others complained that when their feelings grew dark and dangerous, the AI's answers seemed shallow, even empty. There were even stories of harm. A chatbot telling someone to try to relax when they were in deep crisis. Another giving advice that was generic, missing the heart of the problem. The narrator's voice grows heavier, colder. Imagine sharing your deepest pain, only to feel like the listener isn't really there. Imagine reaching for comfort and realizing you are speaking into a void. The truth was clear. AI could simulate empathy, but it could not feel it. It could offer patterns, but not true understanding. And yet people still leaned on it. Some because it was all they had. Others because they wanted to believe that even machines could care. But the cracks were growing. The question could no longer be avoided. If therapy is about trust, compassion, and human connection, can AI ever give that? Or will its limits leave people more alone than before? The story darkens. The stage is set for a battle between what humans offer and what machines can never replace. The world stood divided. On one side were the believers, those who saw AI as the future of therapy. On the other were the skeptics, those who warned that something vital would be lost. The debate grew louder with every passing year. AI had its strengths. It was fast. It could analyze patterns in speech, track moods, and remember every detail a person shared. It could answer at 2 a.m. when no therapist was available. It could talk to millions at once, never forgetting, never tiring. But humans had something machines could not copy: empathy, compassion, the ability to sit in silence and feel what another person felt. A human therapist could cry with their patient. They could laugh or pause or change their tone when they sensed pain. They brought lived experience, personal struggle, and a sense of shared humanity. The narrator's voice sharpens, the contrast growing stronger. One side argued, why cling to human therapists when AI can do more for less? The other answered, because therapy is not just words. It is connection, and only humans can truly connect. The debate was no longer just about technology. It was about the heart of healing itself. Is therapy simply about solving problems, or is it about being understood? The tension grew. The lines between human and machine blurred, and the world was left with a question that had no easy answer. When it comes to healing the mind, which matters more, empathy or efficiency? The clash was set. The future of therapy would be shaped by this very choice. The debate soon gave birth to visions of tomorrow. Some were filled with hope. Others carried a darker weight. In one future, AI did not replace therapists, but stood beside them. A human therapist might sit across from a patient, while an AI quietly tracked voice patterns, detecting hidden signs of stress or depression. Together, human and machine worked as partners. The warmth of empathy joined with the power of data. In another vision, therapy moved beyond the office. Imagine a headset slipping over your eyes. A world of calm appeared, a forest, a beach, a quiet room. Inside, an AI guide spoke softly, helping you breathe, helping you heal. A therapist might join this virtual space, creating new ways to connect that were once impossible. But not every vision was bright. Some saw a future where human therapists slowly disappeared. Why wait weeks for an appointment when an AI was free, instant and endless? Why pay more for a human when a machine cost almost nothing? In this darker world, therapy became automated. The warmth of the human touch faded. Patients spoke to glowing screens, not people. Their secrets stored in endless servers. Their emotions reduced to data points. The narrator's voice lowers, heavy with tension. These futures are not fantasy. They are choices waiting to be made. AI can be a tool of healing, or it can hollow out the very heart of therapy. It can open new doors, or close them forever. The question is not whether AI will shape mental health. It already is. The question is, what kind of future will we choose? The screen fades back to the young professional in the dark room. The phone still glows in their hand. The AI's words remain on the screen. Calm, perfect, reassuring. For a moment, it feels like comfort. But in the silence, a question lingers. Does this machine truly care? Or is it only pretending? The narrator's voice grows softer, drawing the audience in. This is not just one person's story. It is the story of all of us. We stand at the edge of a future where AI could sit in the therapist's chair. Some say it will bring hope to millions who never had help before. Others fear it will strip away the human connection that makes healing real. Both may be true. Both may shape the world ahead. The narrator pauses, then delivers the final question. When the time comes, who will you trust with your heart and mind? A human therapist? Or an artificial one? The screen darkens. The music fades. The story ends. But the debate has only just begun.